Harry Styles might have brought it into the mainstream with watermelon sugar, but to celebrate National Watermelon Day, here are some of the sexiest celebs to join in with the fruity craze.
Princess Eugenie's husband, Jack Brooksbank, has been pictured hanging out with a group of glamorous women on board a boat in Italy. But the royal has nothing to worry about, according to author and body language expert Judy James, who exclusively shared her thoughts on the snaps with the Mirror.
Carol Vorderman addresses Doctor Who speculation amidst Jodie Whittaker's departure. Hello and welcome to Barely Contained, the podcast which hands out the gold, silver and bronze medals in the fortnightly Olympiad of online celebrity journalism. I'm Matt Withers, and I'm joined by a man who's agreed to take a brief break from watching horses dance. It's Chris Beckett.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Have you been enjoying the Olympics, Chris?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's it's been good.
Well, it's not the only major event, he said, in a seamless link to the first celebrity story of this podcast.
Nice.
I've got a story. It's more of a feature, really, from the Daily Star Online. It's by Jen Thomas, and it's headlined, Zara McDermott to Megan Barton Hansen, all the stars enjoying National Watermelon Day.
Hang on, that was not on my red button.
Well, unfortunately, I believe that the organisers of National Watermelon Day sold it to Eurosport this year. So the BBC is very limited in the amount of watermelon-based content they can broadcast.
Well, their loss.
Well, let's see who these stars are. It begins, Harry Styles might have brought it into the mainstream with watermelon sugar, but to celebrate National Watermelon Day, here are some of the sexiest celebs to join in with the fruity craze.
Brought it into the mainstream.
Yeah. Until Harry Styles came about, it was a very elitist fruit, the watermelon.
So niche.
It was traded surreptitiously on the back streets of Brixton, and you had to know the appropriate lingo to approach the dealer with.
Yeah.
Who knew that watermelons could be so sexy? These celebs certainly don't mind getting sticky as they indulge in the sweet fruit. And on National Watermelon Day, yes, it really exists. It's only right to celebrate with a selection of snaps.
It's like a stream of consciousness, that.
It really is. It's almost Joycean, isn't it?
What I love is that I feel the whole paragraph should have ended after the first line. These celebs certainly don't.
No. Harry Styles made it popular with his summer anthem Watermelon Sugar, but these stars decided to join in with the fun, with plenty of the rich and famous sharing snaps on their social media. Watermelons are everywhere, from clothing and jewellery to beauty accessories, as well as the essential summer snack. And here are some of the most stunning stars to treat themselves.
Remember when there was a rush on watermelons?
Right at the start of the summer. It was like the start of the pandemic all over again. People fighting in Lidl.
Yeah, people trading in their toilet roll.
For the essential summer snack. The first star, Chris, Zara McDermott.
Okay, who's she?
I didn't know either, but fortunately it begins, Love Island star Zara McDermott seems to be a big fan of melons, as she has posted several snaps posing with various examples. The 23-year-old has featured in several beach photo shoots eating watermelon in the past. She also shared some stunning bikini snaps holding a huge slice of melon.
Gosh, she's got tons of previous with the African fruit.
She's hoarding it. Zara's got all the melon. It goes on. It's one way to turn heads! ! In some of her social snaps, the star posed in a yellow bikini, holding the prop fruit above her head, captioning it, Watermelon sugar. That's SUGAAA.
Nice.
Yep. There's lots more of this, Chris. So keep up that enthusiasm.
I might have some watermelon to tide me over.
So you managed to lay your hands on some of the essential summer snack.
Just hidden away.
Next up, Katy Perry. You know her?
Yeah.
She's the queen of larger-than-life food. Remember the California Girls video and the whipped cream canisters?
Do I?
So, of course, Katy Perry would get in on the watermelon action. Of course, she's done it in her own cartoonish style, but still looks stunning. And it's also less messy this way. She went watermelon crazy back in 2013 with her song, This Is How We Do. Talk about trend setting.
She put watermelons on the map.
Yeah. Move over, Harry Styles. It does actually, this is not me doing the jokey bit now. It goes on, move over, Harry Styles. Katy was filmed lying out on a bed by the pool with a watermelon slice in hand. Would you like more?
Yes.
Katie McDermott.
Okay.
Do you know who she is?
No.
Another Love Island star to love watermelon is Katie McDermott, who sizzled in a stunning pink bikini as she posed with a slice. The 25-year-old was sunning it up in Fuerteventura when she posed for the fruity pics and looked very happy about her sunshine break.
It's just all about the watermelon.
She also shared a snap of her posing poolside in a royal blue bikini with a refreshing glass of fruit and captioned it, watermelon juice, back in 2018.
It probably was watermelon juice.
Probably was watermelon juice. Yeah,
Does what it says on the tin.
Back in 2018, these influencers were a lot more devil-may-care when it comes to not necessarily advertising things as they were on social media. But I think we can assume that the refreshing glass of fruit was watermelon juice.
I hope so.
The next celebrity, Chris, I think it's a bit more of your era. This is Alexa Chung.
Yeah, heard her.
From T4.
Yeah.
Gorgeous Alexa is no stranger for posing for snaps in her career as a model. Well, one would hope not, Chris.
Never done this before.
Turning off the shoot, and she's like, what's this? What's that camera there for? And now works as a writer, TV presenter, and fashion designer. She looks stunning as she effortlessly poses with a watermelon snack, and watermelon provides a handy alternative to lip gloss.
when you say handy, it's not going to fit in your handbag.
Massive, isn't it? Can you imagine that? Two girls popping into the because they go into the toilets together, don't they, girls? They go in and one of them gets out a lip gloss just to touch yourself up, and the other one went, you don't still carry that whole thing around with you. I found this a handy alternative, and whops a watermelon out, bangs it on the sink.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And also, when you go into those sort of quite exclusive, night spots, bathrooms, someone handing out, maybe a bit of chewing gum, massive watermelon.
Yeah, something for the weekend. Alexa recently looked stunning in a metallic blue top at Wimbledon and celebrated her collaboration with Mulberry.
Seems slightly incongruous.
Absolutely irrelevant. I'm only here for the watermelon-based content. Next up, Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie regularly graces magazine covers in her acting career, and she shared the sweet snap of her enjoying a tasty treat. She's keeping busy at the moment with the follow-up to Suicide Squad, but Margot took time out previously to pose with the slice of watermelon held up to her smile on Instagram.
You can always make time for watermelon if this proves nothing else.
Yeah, it proves an awful lot, doesn't it, about possibly the state of journalism, but we won't dwell on that. The star shows off glowing skin and a beaming smile as she showed off various jewellery. So just 3 lines in that, but still far more than Margot Robbie got to deliver in the most recent Quentin Tarantino film. So it's a comment, Chris, on Quentin Tarantino's lack of lines with female stars. Did you pick that one up?
Yeah, I got it.
Megan Barton Hansen. Do you know who she is?
I have heard of her, actually.
Yeah. In what context?
Probably the context that she seems to crop up in a lot of these stories.
Yeah. Well, a TV show she may have made a name on.
Is she another Love Islander?
No, but she won Only Connects, the last series. No, she was on Love Island. It may not be the edible version, but Megan Barton Hansen couldn't resist getting in on the watermelon action in a saucy snap. The Love Island star preserved her modesty with 2 watermelon masks over her boobs. Before appearing on the show, she also starred in a raunchy photo shoot featuring the fruit. The stunning star captioned the cheeky mask snap, playing with the new Juicy Bits watermelon boob masks.
Wow, that's a sentence for the ages.
Yeah, she's always been a mistress of the prosaic, Megan Barton Hansen. I've always referred to her as. I think this is the final one here, Chris. Harry Styles.
The OG when it comes to watermelons.
It wouldn't be a list of sexy watermelon celebs without including Harry Styles, would it? Watermelon Sugar became one of the songs of the summer and cemented Harry's solo career as one of the most successful for a former boy band member. Fans couldn't get enough, and the saucy video to go with it got them even more excited.
I can't help thinking that maybe there would have been an interesting feature about, like, sales of watermelons in relation to that song. But yeah, I'm not sure this one has really quite done it for me.
No, should have just popped a call into the National Watermelon Council, which almost certainly exists.
They'd have set you right.
Got the skinny on the essential summer snack. Well, Chris, I believe you are popping into the pages, the digital pages of the Daily Mirror with a story about a very minor royal.
This story is branded as an exclusive. Princess Eugenie's husband, more geek than gigolo, as he poses with girls on boat.
Mm-mm.
And this is an interesting one because it's a co-byline between Vicky Newman, assistant showbiz editor, and Judy James, who might some of the listeners be familiar with, Matt.
I think we've come across her before. She is an expert in body language.
Indeed, she is. Author and body language expert Judy James exclusively shares her thoughts on the pictures of Princess Eugenie's husband, Jack Brooksbank, frolicking on a boat with some glamorous female pals.
I have to say, Chris, if you were to say to me Jack Brooksbank, and we couldn't end this podcast until I guessed who he was, we would be here for an awfully long time. I would be like, oh my God, is he, Luton Town central defender? Is he from Love Island, obviously?
I was going to guess that he was like the person that Columbo interviews first in an episode who always turns out to be the murderer.
Yeah, he could be. Mr. Brooksbank, one more question.
Princess Eugenie's husband, Jack Brooksbank, has been pictured hanging out with a group of glamorous women on board a boat in Italy. But the royal has nothing to worry about, according to author and body language expert Judy James, who exclusively shared her thoughts on the snaps with the Mirror.
Phew. I imagine that Princess Eugenie has been assuaged now that he is a good boy.
Thank God we've got the expert on the case. Jack was seen in a series of pictures soaking up the sun, posing for selfies and taking a dip in the Med as he spent some quality time with pals Rachel Zalis, Maria Buccaletti and Erica Palacini on board a 26-foot Gozo boat.
Yeah, very important to put those names in because every Mirror reader will be completely au fait with that trio.
They are all household names if you happen to be a minor royal. The 35-year-old was pictured at one point with his arm around Mrs. Buccaletti, who posed up by his side in a skimpy orange bathing suit. But according to our experts, it's all completely innocent.
Oh, thank God for that. Also, Miss Buccaletti sounds like a horrendously stereotyped Italian grandmother character on Sesame Street. Possibly trying to win Oscar the Grouch round with an ice cream.
Yeah, fair. Here's what Judy had to say about the pictures. Of all the royal males, Jack is the one you'd least expect to turn up in poses like these.
Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said, Chris. When I looked at those pictures, I thought, not Jack. He is the last of the royal males that I've not heard of who I'd expect to turn up in poses like these.
Not Jack. The blushing, bashful, and anxious-looking groom always looks sweet and shy rather than saucy and seductive. Yet, here he is, apparently wearing a wide grin and some swimming shorts on a yacht alongside some models without their tops. Simon Cowell, he ain't, though.
I mean, it's pretty damning that he's wearing those swimming shorts on a yacht. I've never been on a yacht, Chris, but if I was, I'd wear my dungarees.
Yeah, come on, you need to cover yourself up. Does the body language look damning? I'd say not. More naive or stupid. Prince Philip spent his entire career as a royal husband walking around with his hands clasped firmly behind his back, and there should be a lesson there for Jack.
Well, firstly, they spelled damning with two M's, like he's a beaver.
Yeah.
So that's. I love the insinuation that in order for men to remain loyal, they should all walk around with their hands clasped behind their back at all times.
You cannot be at all demonstrative if you want to be a proper man. Photos can always be misleading, and the back view of him with his arm around a woman in orange looks under scrutiny like a harmless selfie pose. Why? Because the woman has raised her left leg in the kind of bend look that usually means there's a camera about. Front on, Jack has puffed his chest with what looks like pride, but his wide open smile looks more geek than gigolo.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a gigolo to me, Chris, but that's because the only thing I have to go by is Tony Slattery in early 1990s sitcom Just a Gigolo.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Slattery, to be fair.
He does not look like slats in his pomp.
I mean, yeah, would you rather be a geek? I think I'd rather be a geek than a gigolo. You know,
I suppose if you'd say, are you somebody who's got an interest in technology or a sex worker? I think maybe the first. Not that there's anything wrong with the latter. Don't cancel me.
He's clearly enjoying himself as his grin as he swims shows. They might not be the kind of pictures a wife wants to see of a day at the office, but there are no non-verbal tells or cues to point the finger over here. Eugenie, 31, who is daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, met Jack in 2010 while on a skiing holiday in Switzerland. The royal, who is 11th in line for the throne, and her husband welcomed their first child, August Philip Hawke Brooksbank, in February.
Oh, see, I would assume that he's the August Philip Hawke Brooksbank.
Ah, maybe.
I don't know. I don't really understand aristocratic naming etiquette.
Eugenie was reportedly in Ibiza last week, and it's said that she didn't go on the trip with Jack because he was there to work.
He certainly looks hard at work.
And that is where it ends.
Oh, lovely stuff.
What's interesting is if you do look at some of the comments, there's quite a few comments on this, but one which says, I prefer the cheeky and immensely more realistic way this article was first written. Seems the paper has been given a stern talking to. The frank reader remarks have also been erased for this reboot. Dixon Pinfold.
Sounds like the royal family were worried about this story.
Yeah. Brooksbank was on the blower.
Yeah. Finally, Chris, I'm going to turn to the Daily Express online, and Carol Vorderman addresses Doctor Who speculation amidst Jodie Whittaker's departure.
Speculation, hey?
Yeah, she's finally addressed this speculation that Carol Vorderman could be the next Doctor Who. I missed the initial speculation. Were you aware that this one was swirling around?
I mean, it was trending on Twitter for days.
Yeah. It's just inevitable, isn't it? The next one they were going to go for was the erstwhile countdown numbers whiz, as she will almost certainly be referred to in this article.
It just depends if she gets picked for Bond.
Yeah, whichever one comes up first. This is by Daniel Bird, and it begins. Carol Vorderman has addressed rumours she could be about to land the role in Doctor Who following Jodie Whittaker's decision to quit. Countdown legend Carol Vorderman is no stranger when it comes to teasing her dedicated fans with risque social media snaps. However, her latest tease is set to leave fans on the edge of their seats as she spoke about a possible stint in Doctor Who.
I have never been more excited.
Yeah, I have never been more incredulous. It comes following Jodie Whittaker's decision to step down as the 13th Doctor in the BBC's long-running sci-fi drama. Jodie, 39, made history in 2017 when she became the first female to take on the iconic role of the Time Lord. Since joining the programme, she has continued to grip the nation with 10 storylines as well as tackling an array of extraterrestrial challenges.
They made that sound a little bit like sort of an episode of Blue Peter.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Obviously, they're very careful so far not to refer to her as playing Doctor Who, because that's a mistake you only ever make once, isn't it? The fans don't like that. Don't like that.
They do not like that.
You know, the game is called Guess Who, but the character's just the guess. However, the Skelman-Thorpe-born actress will bow out of the programme in 2022 after brilliant adventures. Now, Carol Vorderman, 60, has spoken out following speculation she may be about to step out of the TARDIS. Addressing the claims on a BBC Radio Wales show earlier today, she said, "This gossip, I can assure you that it is gossip. I can't tell you whether it is true or fake gossip, but it is gossip."
And the source of that gossip, is it potentially Miss C. Vorderman?
Yeah. I think I think she's starting. You must have had somebody at school whose life was so mundane that they tried to start gossip about themselves.
I think I can't. I'm sure Carol Vorderman's life is much more interesting than say mine. But yes, I kind of. It does feel. It does have that kind of ring of like, oh, you'll never guess who I was seen out with last night.
Yeah. I have got a role as a time-travelling doctor. They just go to a different TARDIS.
Yeah, exactly.
The presenter continued to say, "I have to leave it hanging because Owain Evans and I have been tweeting about this, you see." Right, there she is. Right, bang. She just admitted it. She'd be the worst person ever in court.
Is Owain Evans her agent?
Is Owain Evans, he's not Go Compare Man, is he?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he might be Go Compare Man.
That would be interesting.
I tell you what, if I wanted somebody to spread that gossip, it would be the man who communicates entirely by the medium of opera.
I think, it would actually be a great way of killing off the Doctor Who franchise if they brought him and Carol Vorderman in, maybe like spliced in Go Compare as the theme tune.
Exterminate.
It would be like the BBC doing like the producers.
Yes, it would. Yeah, that's it. If say somebody like Paul Dacre got the role in charge of the BBC and decided to destroy it from within, it would definitely give this to the roles of Doctor Who and his assistant, or her assistant, or their assistant, Chris. I don't want to be cancelled again.
Take that, Auntie. I'm unleashing Vorderman.
But I think if Owain becomes the new Doctor Who, I could be his assistant, but he would have to do out the TARDIS. The mum of two went on to say, "It wouldn't be up to scratch for Mr. Owain, I think. We would have to talk to the production director quite a bit before the new series starts." Leaving listeners with a cliffhanger, Carol added, but I'm not denying that it is possible that Owain and I might be in the new series of Doctor Who. It's just not. It comes after Carol announced on Twitter that she cannot confirm nor deny such rumours.
Wow. What I like is they've done a nice graphic of the so far 13 doctors, but they for some reason haven't seen fit to put Carol in there with a 14 and a question mark.
No, that'd be the first thing you'd do, isn't it?
Yeah, and also not to nitpick too much, but when she's talking about him having to do out the TARDIS, I think the TARDIS does itself out. It's nothing, there's no grand designs going on.
No, absolutely not. After one follower said it was the best news hearing that Carol hadn't denied the fact she could be set to step into Jodie's shoes.
Would that follower be C Vorders?
Vorderman added, "We cannot confirm nor deny this sensational gossip. #new Doctor Who." And then it goes on from there with a bit of cut and paste about Jodie Whittaker leaving the role. So we have no cause to dwell on that. And there's just a few comments on there. John George says Doctor Who should be sold to Sky so it can be done properly. Blazer said, which bit of her would they use? I don't know what he's getting harsh on there. And GC said, these episodes with Jodie Whittaker have been the worst woke-filled rubbish ever screened and have effectively ruined Forever, which was what was once a great piece of sci-fi entertainment. So, lovely bit of stuff there.
Yeah, and I like the one right at the end. Well, why not? Doctor Who is now no more than woke drivel, destroyed by the BBC. Better to kill it off completely.
Yeah. You just know that the next episode is going to revolve around the Doctor taking the knee. Actually, the Vicar of Dippy literally did that at Christmas, didn't she? So
the Doctor is going to fly right into the middle of the culture wars and solve it.
Oh dear. Well, we don't want to dip our toe into politics, Chris. That's not our bag. So let's wrap up.
It's not who we are.
It's just not who we are. So I think that's been another good array of stories. Chris, if people would like to engage further with the Barely Contained brand on the internet, how would they go about doing that?
Well, I can, in Vorderman style, I can either confirm or deny, but you could go to @barely_pod for Twitter or visit us at Barely Contain the Podcast on Facebook. And you might find what you're looking for.
Yeah, you might. You could also go to your podcatcher of choice, which would be the one you're currently listening to this on, be that Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Subscribe, give us a little review, 5 stars, please. And just get the word out there. Put it on the socials. Tell your friends, tell your sworn enemies, and let's keep this going. We're heading like the TARDIS itself rapidly towards episode 50.
Yeah, that'll be an achievement.
It will indeed. So it just leaves us to say thank you very much for joining me, Chris.
Yeah, no, thank you, Matt. It's been a pleasure as always.
It has indeed.
Goodbye, all.
Goodbye.
Bye.